While some Hollywood couples cannot even survive publicity, there are other couples that wait 15 years before they start dating, collaborate on several projects, get secretly engaged and married, and even simultaneously get Oscar nominations. Well, not other couples, just one and only couple, Penelope Cruz and Javier Bardem.
What is this beautiful creature on earth is doing with that guy? But
I can think of a few reasons. Now,
thank you very much.
Penelope and Javier first met in 1992 while filming the Spanish comedy drama Jamón Jamón. They instantly fell for each other. Bardem would say years later in one of his interviews there was, quote, obvious chemistry between them, but nothing happened because Bardem was very much aware that the Spanish actress was underage.
And then I got Jamón Jamón when I was 16, Belle Époque when I was 17. Of course, I always had to lie about my age. I had to lie to my parents about the content of the script.
One day we're going to have to show the kids. Imagine. Mommy, Daddy, what did you do in the movies together? Well, my children, you should celebrate the movie as you're here because of it. It was a very sexy film. It still is. In the same interview, when asked whether he would allow his daughter to shoot a similar steamy movie while underage, Bardem said he would never let her do that. It took Cruz and Bardem 15 years to end up working together in another film. In between those collaborations, we were following steamy relationship timelines, especially the ones involving Penelope. The young star had dated a number of high-profile celebrities, including fellow actors Tom Cruise, Josh Hartnett, and Matthew McConaughey. As far as Tom and Matthew were concerned, both romances were born out of the movies where they starred together. When Tom and Penelope began working together on the 2001's Vanilla Sky, he was still a married man. Despite the timeline that might suggest that the co-stars hooked up while filming the movie, over the years Penelope has maintained that the two didn't get together on set. One thing is evident, though. Something extremely intimate and personal is happening on the set of the movies featuring the Spanish actress. Thus, all the passion she puts into her acting feels so real for a reason, especially when it turns into something real. After having been together for 3 years, the two called it quits. Sources were saying the Top Gun star had been madly in love with the actress and had planned on proposing, but Penelope wasn't interested in tying the knot. The alleged reason will surprise you. Kidding, it won't. Penelope pulled the plug on the relationship because she felt that the Church of Scientology was the third wheel in their relationship. Penelope doesn't have anything against the church, but it just wasn't her thing. She admired Tom's dedication to it, but it wasn't her cup of tea, and wasn't something she wanted to give her life up for. But now, back to Penelope and Javier. Thanks to Woody Allen and his film Vicky Cristina Barcelona, the two got to work together again. But interestingly, neither was bold enough to make the first move, despite the evident mutual affection. Bardem explained both were apparently trying to be too professional, so they waited till the last day of filming. And guess what? Nothing happened. Javier told GQ, so I thought, we better get drunk. Luckily, a friend of ours threw a wrap party, and, well, the rest is history. Thank God. 2 years after they started dating, the lovebirds got secretly engaged. Cruz once said she was not sure if she believed in marriage and wanted to be a wife. She also added she believed in family and children. Look how the tables have turned regarding the marriage statement. Already in 2010, the two Spanish stars tied the knot in a small private wedding. This happened soon after their first public appearance at the Goya Awards. Around the same time, when they attended the Cannes Film Festival, Javier referred to Penelope in the sweetest way possible. I share this joy with my friend, my companion, my love, Penelope. I owe you a lot and I love you so much. Soon, the couple started extending their family, and now they are the happy parents of 2.
Family comes first and then everything else.
Their kids are definitely the priority, but both Cruz and Bardem keep working hard and getting accolades for their performances.
And I was breastfeeding my son or my daughter that time, and I had to take the pump machine with me to the Oscars. And in the commercial breaks, that's what I was doing, like pumping milk in the bathroom. So of course people cannot imagine, like, it's not that glamorous.
No.
You get dressed like that, like.
And now imagine 2 actor spouses that are so not tired of each other that they continue collaborating on screen and enjoying the hell out of it. 2 collaborations in 2 consecutive years seem to have strengthened the bond even more.
So just
fly into that character, try to give your 100%, and at the end of the day, that stays there. I don't take the characters home. I probably did that in my 20s and my 30s, but for a long time, I haven't been doing that.
However, Penelope mentioned in one of the interviews that working together is not something they want to do that often.
Do you look forward to working with her again?
No, I don't want to. It's too much craziness. Now, of course I will.
Now, if that power couple still doesn't feel powerful enough for you, check this out. Most recently, they made history, becoming the 6th married couple to be nominated for Academy Awards in acting categories the same year. Bardem admits it makes the whole thing extra special for him. He also disclosed how they learned about the nominations. We were on the sofa, cuddled together, waiting to see what was going to happen. When they announced my nomination first, I was very excited, but it wasn't a true celebration until we heard she was also nominated. We would not be able to truly celebrate together if one of us was disappointed. It is worth mentioning that Javier keeps gushing about his spouse and her talent.
If to tell you the truth, if I have to choose, I will pick her Oscar. That will make me happy.
It evidently makes him extremely happy to witness her achievements. Probably even happier than his own. Isn't that what true love is all about? In a recent development, the 47-year-old actress received an award at the Santa Barbara International Film Festival. The Parallel Mothers star dedicated her awards to the mothers of Ukraine experiencing a war while worrying about their children. She delivered her acceptance speech with a shaky voice from welled-up tears in her eyes. What my character Janice goes through, she's afraid of maybe losing a child, losing what she loves the most. And how many women in the world right now are going through incredible challenges and horrors. So, my heart is with all these women in Ukraine, and all these children and men and everyone who's suffering this horrible situation. That's all for today. Support Ukraine, believe in Javier and Penelope, and subscribe to Rumour Juice for exciting love stories.
Dwayne Johnson was left heartbroken after his divorce from his first wife, Dani Garcia. They had met and fallen in love during college and had been married for just over 10 years when they decided to part ways. So when Dwayne met Lauren Hashian, he was nowhere near ready for another relationship. Lauren had also just gone through a pretty big breakup herself. So how did this couple overcome their heartache and find love and healing in one another? Dwayne Johnson first met singer and songwriter Lauren Hashian back in 2006 on the set of the beloved comedy The Game Plan. At the time, Dwayne was married to his college sweetheart, Dani Garcia, but by then, their marriage had crumbled, and the pair was busy working through their split. The former couple also shares a daughter together, Simone Alexandra Johnson. The actor shared about the first moment he met Lauren. Within 30 seconds I thought, wow, this girl's stunning. He added, ironically, when you're not looking for something, the power of the universe kind of takes over. It didn't take long for Lauren to become an important part of Dwayne's life.
The term we have in Hawaii is called po mai kai, and it is blessed, and that is my life. I feel so blessed, and I sound like a broken record, but there is always so much to be thankful for.
The pair took their romance slow, both still healing their hearts after their respective breakups. However, the actor described the time that they started seeing each other as very bad and challenging, since he was struggling through a dark depression that followed his divorce from Garcia.
There was also the failure of marriage that I had, because we don't sign up for divorce, but it happened to me. So there were times in my life where I failed.
Things didn't get any easier for Dwayne after he suffered the loss of his close friend and Fast and Furious co-star Paul Walker in 2013. Lauren was with him when he found out about the sudden death of Paul. The actor shared, I was driving with Lauren when she immediately turned very quiet and was looking at me, studying, wondering if I knew. I pulled over and looked at my messages and had a moment where I just caught my breath.
I mean, I looked down at my phone, there was probably 50 text messages. What? And I pulled the car over. I was with my girl at that time, and I just broke down.
Dwayne added that both he and Lauren said a prayer in the car to send Paul's daughter, Meadow Walker, strength. Both Johnson and Walker had bonded over their shared experiences, going through a divorce, having young daughters, and they often spoke about the power of being a dad and the strong connection of a dad and his girl. He confessed that after he found out about Paul's passing, both he and Lauren went home and started bawling. Despite having gone through a dark time and suffering from depression, Lauren's support for Dwayne was unwavering. She stood by his side and gave him the strength he needed to get through his dark days, and she was always there to make his days brighter and better. During an interview, Johnson briefly opened up about Hashian as he talked about finding love again after his divorce.
I wake up every day so grateful and so thankful that you have someone like that.
What's more is that Johnson's ex-wife, Dani, opened up about how they were able to maintain a respectful friendship even after their split, and they worked together to co-parent their daughter. She said, "He has a strong sense of family. We have that extra layer of trust that can only come from family. We are just a different family, and we keep adding new people." In 2013, almost 6 years after they first started dating, Johnson and Hashian walked their first red carpet together as they attended the premiere of G.I. Joe Retaliation in Hollywood. During another interview, Dwayne spoke about the importance of making sure that Lauren and his daughter aren't forgotten about when he's out in the spotlight. He explained that his family is a huge part of who he is and his success, and it's important that they get the recognition they deserve. The actor shared that he likes to make sure that there is a balance between his home life and his work life, and that Lauren and his daughter have their place by his side.
So we always make sure that we carve out time for us. These days, our date nights are very, just like simple core stuff.
In 2015, Johnson and Hashian welcomed a baby girl named Jasmine Leah. The newborn marked the first child for Hashian and the second for Johnson. The actor shared the exciting news on his Instagram, captioning, "Christmas came early. Within minutes of being born, she was laying on Daddy's chest, and being a grateful man takes on a whole new meaning," adding that both he and Lauren are extremely grateful for their new bundle of joy. After Johnson was named People's Sexiest Man Alive in 2016, he opened up about how he thought Hashian might react to his new title. He shared, "First of all, she teases me about everything. Everything." Dwayne then joked that she held back her taunts about that title because, naturally, she was in full agreement, adding, "She already thinks I'm the sexiest man alive." During his cover story interview, Johnson also opened up about how they have the greatest relationship because they know how to make each other laugh. "Nothing is off limits in our house, and that's the beauty of it, and I tease her with everything." Just 1 year later, Dwayne announced that he and Hashian were expecting another child together. He shared the news on Instagram with a cute photo of their daughter, captioning, "Our Jasmine Leah would like to make a big announcement. It's a girl." At the beginning of 2018, the couple's family was joined by a baby girl they named Tiana Gia. Johnson gushed that he was blessed and proud to bring another strong girl into the world and that she came in like a force of nature. Of course, he couldn't forget to share that Lauren delivered their baby like a true rock star. And yet, even though they had welcomed two beautiful daughters together, there seemed to be no plans for a wedding. Johnson was often asked if they had gotten married yet, or if they were at least planning to make things official. However, the actor explained why they hadn't made it down the aisle. He confessed, "My divorce did a number on me. I wasn't fearful of getting married again, there was just some hesitancy." But Hashian never once took it personally. He added, "Lauren was incredibly patient. I love you. You love me. We have this amazing life together. No pressure." After all, they were already partners in every sense beyond all the legal paperwork. Johnson went on to say, "I just refer to her as my wife all the time, so a lot of people are like, 'Oh, did you get married?' I'm like, 'No, easy. Don't rush, Big Daddy.'" What people didn't know is that after the couple welcomed their first daughter, Jasmine, in 2015, it wasn't a question of if he was going to marry Lauren. It was more about when they were going to get married. He explained that seeing Lauren bring their daughter into the world changed his perspective on everything. The couple was initially planning on getting married around 2017, but then, as Johnson described it, "We got pregnant, and Mama don't want to take wedding pictures with a big belly. Mama want to look good." So they decided to postpone their wedding plans till after they welcomed their second daughter in 2018. Lauren's second pregnancy came as a surprise to them both, and the couple was so excited about it that they had no problem with having to move their wedding to a later date. In a 2018 Mother's Day tribute, the actor gushed over Lauren, sharing, "I'm in constant respect and grateful awe of all the things this incredible mama accomplishes on a daily basis. Lauren does it all with a big, genuine smile, and is truly the kindest and sweetest soul you'll ever meet. Of all the human beings on this earth she could have as her partner, she chose me, one big, brown, bold, tattooed, very lucky SOB." After over a decade of dating, Johnson and Hashian officially tied the knot in 2019 during an intimate ceremony in Hawaii.
Early morning wedding in Hawaii on the cliffs there in Kauai, and it was very private, and it was the best.
Following their nuptials, the couple shared a handful of wedding photos, which included their 2 daughters as flower girls. The couple was determined to make sure that their wedding was as private as it could be. There were no wedding planners involved. Everything at the wedding was created by hand and organized by their family and staff at the Hawaiian venue. He shared, "The end results were spectacular. The actor remained blown away that no one had caught wind of their intentions before they could share it on their own terms." The couple had expected the wedding to be swarmed by the press, and they even hired a security detail in case there were helicopters that hovered around the location. Luckily, their plans remained a secret. He confessed, "No one knew. I was shocked but so grateful. My life is so loud and noisy. The fact that it was quiet was a big win." On their first wedding anniversary in 2020, Hashian celebrated by releasing a heartfelt song that she first presented privately to Johnson during their wedding a year prior. Lauren shared in the press release, "Step into a love like this is the most personal and rewarding song I've ever written." The following year, Johnson brought his blended family together for the premiere of his film Red Notice. For the event, he was joined by Hashian, his mother, Ada Johnson, and his ex-wife Dani Garcia. And the film was truly a family affair since it was Garcia who actually produced the film alongside Johnson, and Hashian co-wrote the song On the Run for the movie. Dwayne shared the occasion on Instagram, captioning, "So proud for everyone and proud to share it together with all of the energy in the air this evening." There's no doubt that Dwayne and Lauren take the term blended family to another level. Dwayne has proven that time and time again, he is a husband and father first, and he wouldn't be where he is without the family that had supported him from the beginning. We are so happy for him, and we wish him and his family all the best.
They say good things take time, and it appears that Eddie Redmayne and Hannah Bagshawe really believed that. Like so many great relationships, their romance began as a friendship. The pair were close friends for 12 years before falling for one another, getting engaged, getting married, and starting a family. But one question remains. Who is the woman that stole Eddie's heart? Eddie Redmayne is one of the world's leading actors who is known for portraying Stephen Hawking in The Theory of Everything. He is more recently known for playing Newt Scamander in the extension of the Harry Potter's film franchise, Fantastic Beasts. Of course, he has also been in The Danish Girl and Les Miserables. You get the idea. He is just one phenomenal actor. But his wife, Hannah Bagshawe, is less well known, except for being known as Eddie's wife, of course. She keeps a relatively low profile despite her husband's fame, but Hannah sports some impressive credentials of her own. She has worked in financial public relations and as an antique dealer. She also has a master's degree in English literature and French from the University of Edinburgh. Now let's get into how this couple began. It was the year 2000 and the actor was attending Eton College where his wife was enrolled in an all-girls boarding school nearby. Bagshawe's school held a charity fashion show at Eton, and from across the room they caught each other's eye and began talking. This sparked a friendship that would stand the test of time. But eventually, Cupid's arrow finally shot them. 12 years later, their friendship eventually turned romantic when Eddie was filming Les Miserables. The actor had finished rehearsals and was about to start shooting a few days after, so he decided to go on a quick break. Before he left to rehearse for the film, he and Hannah went on a sort of date and had a wonderful evening. He couldn't stop thinking about her and decided to bring her with him on his trip. Just 2 years after they began dating, Redmayne popped the big question to Bagshawe over Memorial Day weekend. Although a few details were shared, it was apparently a magical evening that sported a stunning engagement ring. "We couldn't be happier. It's great that she found me attractive then and still does. It's also wonderful having a shared history and friends, even though we didn't get together for so long," he said. How sweet is that? It was only a few months later that the couple said "I do" in an intimate winter-themed wedding at a historic manor house. While their small number of friends and family waited to celebrate their nuptials, the bride was nowhere to be found. Although everyone else was really worried she had gotten cold feet, Eddie was relaxed because he knew she'd never been on time for pretty much anything in her life.
But everyone else was really stressed, but I was kind of relaxed knowing she'd never been on time for pretty much anything in her life.
Another humorous aspect of their wedding is the inspiration behind their Winter Wonderland theme. We like the hymn In the Bleak Midwinter and wanted an excuse to sing that at a wedding. You only get one shot arranging a wedding, so we're doing our best. The two kept the winter theme going for their honeymoon when they went skiing in the Alps. But unfortunately, there wasn't any snow. So it was just an excuse for the couple to take long lunches, drink lots of red wine, and have fondue. It also helped Eddie discover a surprising perk of marriage. We came into LAX yesterday, and when you are married, you can go as a couple up to passport security. Normally, it's quite intimidating. They were much kinder to me when I was with my wife, so it's fun, he said. Well, that's certainly an interesting one. Redmayne and Bagshawe continued to show us what an adorable and supportive couple they are. The actor shared that he had a wonderful personal stylist in the form of his wife. Although this was not within her expertise, she accepted the role for good reason. I'm colorblind, so occasionally I'll go for things that are slightly outlandish, and she'll temper me back into the world of taste, he shared. Hannah was also more than supportive when her husband shared that he had been nominated for an Oscar for The Theory of Everything. She was his first call for the big news. I don't know if any words were actually said. There was just a lot of screaming. She has a proper job, and she was like, "How am I to go back and do the accounts when I'm so excited?" he shared. They just keep getting cuter. When he won that Oscar, he gave a special thanks to his wife and told her how much he loved her.
I just want to thank my family and you, Hannah, my wife. I love you so much. We have a new fella coming to share our apartment. Thank you.
Bagshawe certainly kept her husband grounded in their first year of marriage when he got a bit too taken in with the craziness of the industry. She was also an absolute saint according to him for keeping up with his busy schedule. I love married life. It feels surreal. You can't take it for granted because it could be gone in a shot. It's been the most extraordinary whirlwind, and it's a ride for both of us. This whole industry is the most joyous, absurd circus. It's great to have someone when you get too immersed in it to say, "Wait a second," he said. Then in 2015, Eddie and Hannah shared some exciting news. They were expecting their first child. We've got our first book, which is looking at us, and we are staring guiltily as we should be learning how to be parents, but we haven't opened them yet. I was like, maybe we should find out. And my wife's like, we're not finding out. She wears the trousers, he said. Well, at least he knows who runs the house. Then in June of 2016, they welcomed their daughter, Iris Mary Redmayne. The new father revealed that his baby girl arrived 2 weeks after her due date. Lateness seems to be genetic. Like mother, like daughter, right? Iris appeared in the world and I gave her a stern talking to, he said jokingly. Later that year, Redmayne and Bagshawe took their newborn to her first ever Olympics in Rio de Janeiro. The Fantastic Beasts actor admitted that he always had a fear of flying with children, and that fear heightened when they ended up on the same flight with most of the British Olympic team. I was like, what if she cries lots and then they don't sleep and they blame all of their lack of success on Iris? But she was amazing, he said. Then in 2018, the couple welcomed their second child, son Luke Richard Bagshawe. Yes, you heard right. Their children have different surnames, one from mom and one from dad. Before you're a parent, you hear people talking about not getting a lot of sleep. Then suddenly you're the guy who's floating in a constant jet-lagged sense with an IV of caffeine. We've just about got to that stage when we're beginning to get sleep and remember what that word means. Getting prepped to go back into the trenches, he said. The actor did admit that when it's 3 a.m. and the baby begins to cry, it's exhausting. But when he sees that little smile, his heart breaks a bit, and it's totally worth it. As for Iris becoming a big sister, she apparently takes her role seriously. There are occasional moments when he and Hannah are both out of the room and get a glimpse of their daughter entertaining her baby brother. No one makes him laugh as much as she does. Marriage is the most wonderful achievement of them all for me because that has given me this platform to be a dad, the best dad I can be. Since having children, Eddie has reflected on how his upbringing compares to his current life in the film industry while raising a family. The actor had quite a stable upbringing and he is endlessly trying to find some stability for his kids. He has found that he and his wife basically have no control over their schedule, especially when he is doing theater work, so he doesn't do plays anymore. The acting world has such a weird rhythm that constantly shifts. The reality of it is that every other night other than Sunday, you're out working. You don't get to see your kids and you're also living like a monk. It's quite intense to put my wife and kids through that, he said. Although he is an Oscar-winning actor, he is still a husband and father who has to deal with broken appliances from time to time. Redmayne recounted a story about Hannah reminding him of his household duties while he was at work. In the process of trying to focus on his craft during rehearsals, he received a call from his wife because the dishwasher broke. She begged him to get home as soon as possible to fix it, and being the great husband he is, he did. Like we said earlier, she keeps him grounded. Hannah Bagshawe and Eddie Redmayne could not be a cuter Hollywood couple if they tried. They have managed to be in each other's lives for 22 years, and we cannot wait to see them together for many more.